By 1973, rock wasn't just music anymore, it was an empire. Stadiums filled to the brim, records shattered sales charts, and new genres pushed into the mainstream. The 60s had been the era of revolution, but the 70s? This was the era of domination. Rock stars became global icons, and the albums they released this year weren't just records. They were monuments. From prog epics to glam anthems, from southern rock showstoppers to reggae's worldwide breakthrough, 1973 was the year rock conquered the world. And today, we're going to explore 15 tracks that defined that empire. Number 1. Time, Pink Floyd. It begins with the ticking of a clock, then an explosion of sound. Time wasn't just a track on the dark side of the moon, it was the heartbeat of one of the most important albums ever made. Released in March 1973, Dark Side became a phenomenon, spending a staggering 741 weeks on the Billboard 200, and Time was its centerpiece. Roger Waters wrote the lyrics as a meditation on mortality, capturing the universal shock of realizing how quickly life passes. David Gilmour's vocals balance regret with urgency, while Nick Mason's drumming creates a pulse that feels like a clock itself. Then comes Gilmour's guitar solo, soaring, aching, unforgettable. It's not just one of the greatest solos in rock history, it's the sound of time slipping through your fingers. Time became more than a song. It was a mirror, forcing listeners to reflect on their own lives. In 1973, Pink Floyd weren't just making music. They were creating an experience that defined a generation. Number 2. The song remains the same, Led Zeppelin. By 1973, Led Zeppelin were the biggest rock band on Earth, and Houses of the Holy was proof of their dominance. The opening track, The Song Remains the Same, wasn't just an introduction, it was a declaration. Built on Jimmy Page's layered guitars, the song is pure energy from the first note. Robert Plant's vocals soar above it all, turning what could have been a straight-ahead rocker into something mythic. Originally titled The Overture, it was designed to feel like the curtain rising on a massive performance, and that's exactly what it does. Live, the track became a centerpiece of Zeppelin's shows, often stretched into a sprawling jam that showcased their power as performers. By 1973, the band wasn't just playing concerts. They were staging events that felt closer to religious experiences. And The Song Remains the Same captured the essence of that era, a band at the height of its powers, ready to rule the world. Number 3. Angie, The Rolling Stones. For a band built on swagger and sleaze, 1973 brought something unexpected: tenderness. Angie, from Goat's Head Soup, was one of the Rolling Stones' most emotional ballads. With its acoustic guitar, mournful piano, and Mick Jagger's surprisingly vulnerable vocal, it became a worldwide hit. Rumors swirled about the song's inspiration. Some thought it was about David Bowie's wife, Angie. Others speculated it was written for Keith Richards' newborn daughter. In truth, Richards wrote it during a stint in Switzerland, strung out on heroin, and imagined naming it after any girl at all. Jagger filled in the lyrics later, and the result was one of the Stones' most hauntingly beautiful tracks. Angie topped charts around the globe and proved that even the world's greatest rock and roll band could deliver heartbreak as convincingly as they delivered rebellion. It was a reminder that even in their most decadent years, the Stones could still surprise us. Number 4. The Jean Genie, David Bowie. By 1973, David Bowie was still living as Ziggy Stardust, the alien rock star who had captured imaginations worldwide. But with the Jean... When are you gonna come down? Number 5. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Elton John. Elton John was unstoppable in 1973. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, released that October, wasn't just another album, it was a massive double release, spread across 2 full vinyl records. With 17 tracks in total, it became a cultural phenomenon. And at the heart of it all was the title track, its emotional core. Written with Bernie Taupin, the The song was about disillusionment with fame, using the Wizard of Oz's yellow brick road as a metaphor. Elton's plaintive piano melody, paired with Taupin's poetic lyrics, created one of the most powerful ballads of the decade. When Elton sang, "I'm not a present for your friends to open," it wasn't just theater, it was a confession. Despite his larger-than-life image, here was a man grappling with the cost of success. The song reached the top 10 on both sides of the Atlantic, and today it remains one of Elton's most beloved works. In 1973, it reminded the world that even rock's biggest superstars were still human. Number 6. Dream On, Aerosmith. Not every classic becomes a hit right away. When Aerosmith released Dream On in 1973, their debut album barely made a dent. But slowly, the song began to build a cult following, and when it was re-released in 1976, it shot up the charts, cementing itself as the band's signature track. Steven Tyler wrote Dream On when he was still a teenager, channeling all his ambition, insecurity, and hunger into a single ballad. His vocals start soft and vulnerable, then rise into a scream so raw it still sends shivers down spines. Joe Perry's guitar provides the perfect counterpart, restrained, then explosive. Dream On became more than a song. It was a roadmap for Aerosmith's career, a promise that one day they'd become one of the biggest bands in America. And in the decades since, it's become a permanent fixture of classic rock, a song that always feels like it's reaching for the stars. Number 7. Keep Yourself Alive, Queen. Before the world knew them as rock royalty, Queen released their debut single in 1973, Keep Yourself Alive. It was the first glimpse of Freddie Mercury, Brian May, John Deacon, and Roger Taylor as a unit, and it was electrifying. Written by May, the song is driven by his guitar wizardry and Mercury's already commanding vocals. Though it didn't chart at the time, it introduced the band's unique blend of theatricality and technical brilliance. Critics were unsure what to make of it, but fans who saw them live knew instantly this was the beginning of something huge. Looking back, Keep Yourself Alive feels like a mission statement. Queen weren't just another band, they were innovators, ready to rewrite the rules of rock. And in 1973, the world got its first taste of what would soon become one of the greatest careers in music history. Number 8. Spirit in the Night, Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen arrived in 1973 with Greetings from Asbury Park, NJ, a debut album bursting with stories of street kids, dreamers, and misfits. Among its standout tracks was Spirit in the Night. Unlike the folk-driven songs elsewhere on the album, Spirit in the Night had a funky groove, brought to life by Clarence Clemens's saxophone. Springsteen's lyrics painted vivid characters and wild nighttime adventures, showcasing the storytelling that would make him famous. Though the song didn't chart, it became a fan favorite and a staple of Springsteen's early live shows. Listening today, you can hear the seeds of the boss's greatness, the poetry, the energy, the celebration of ordinary lives turned extraordinary.
When the sun beats down and I lie on my bench, I can always...
Number 10. Firth of Fifth, Genesis. Progressive rock reached new heights in 1973, and Genesis's Firth of Fifth was one of its crown jewels. Featured on Selling England by the Pound, the song is a sprawling epic blending classical piano, complex time signatures, and poetic lyrics. Written by Tony Banks, the track is most famous for Steve Hackett's guitar solo, a soaring, emotional passage often hailed as one of the greatest in prog history. Peter Gabriel's vocals add a mystical quality, weaving a tale that feels ancient and timeless. Though never a single, Firth of Fifth became a fan favorite and a staple of Genesis's live shows. For prog fans, it was proof that rock could be as ambitious, intricate, and moving as any symphony. In 1973, Genesis weren't just playing music, they were building cathedrals of sound. Number 11, Live and Let Die, Paul McCartney and Wings. When Paul McCartney was asked to write the theme for the James Bond film Live and Let Die in 1973, he could have played it safe. Instead, he delivered one of the most explosive tracks of his career. Live and Let Die opens as a sweeping ballad, then erupts into a hard rock anthem complete with reggae-infused bridges and dramatic orchestration. Produced by George Martin, it showed McCartney's range and willingness to experiment. The song became a hit worldwide, and its fiery live performances, complete with pyrotechnics, remain concert highlights to this day. It proved that post-Beatles, McCartney wasn't fading into nostalgia. He was still capable of writing songs that defined their era. Live and Let Die wasn't just a movie theme. It was a rock anthem that continues to ignite crowds 50 years later. Number 12. Sabbath. Bloody Sabbath. Black Sabbath. By 1973, Black Sabbath had already defined heavy metal, but critics claimed they were one-dimensional, just loud riffs and doom. With Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, the band proved them wrong. The title track was ambitious, blending crushing guitar riffs with intricate arrangements and even synthesizers. Tony Iommi pushed his playing into new territory, while Ozzy Osbourne delivered one of his most haunting vocal performances. The result was a song that retained Sabbath's heaviness, but expanded their sonic palette. The track silenced critics and won over new fans, showing that metal could evolve and innovate. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath wasn't just a song, it was a statement. Heavy metal was here to stay, and it could be just as creative and ambitious as any other genre. Number 13. Love, Reign O'er Me, The Who. If The Who's first rock opera, Tommy, was a success, their second, Quadrophenia, was a masterpiece. And its finale, Love, Reign O'er Me, was the emotional climax. Roger Daltrey's vocal is a thunderstorm, raw, powerful, and filled with desperation. Pete Townshend's piano and guitar build layers of tension until the song erupts in a cathartic release. It's one of the most dramatic moments in The Who's catalog, a song that feels like it could tear the sky open. Though not a major chart hit, Love, Reign O'er Me became a staple of The Who's live performances and remains one of their most beloved tracks. In 1973, it was proof that rock could be theater, drama, and pure emotional release all at once.
Come on, baby.
Number 14. Stir It Up, Bob Marley and the Wailers. 1973 wasn't just the year rock reigned supreme, it was the year reggae began its global takeover. With Catch a Fire, Bob Marley and the Wailers introduced their music to the world, and Stir It Up was the song that caught fire first. Originally written in 1967, Marley re-recorded it with the Wailers for their Island Records debut. With its laid-back groove, sensual lyrics, and soulful delivery, Stir It Up became a hit in both Jamaica and abroad. More importantly, it marked the beginning of Marley's rise as an international icon. In 1973, Stir It Up wasn't just a love song. It was a cultural breakthrough, the sound of reggae stepping onto the world stage and demanding. Number 15. Rosalita, Come Out Tonight, Bruce Springsteen. If Spirit in the Night was Bruce Springsteen's introduction, Rosalita, Come Out Tonight, from his second album, The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle, was his explosion. Released in 1973, the song is pure chaos, joy, and energy. The sound of a young artist on the verge of something massive. With its rapid-fire lyrics, infectious rhythm, and exuberant saxophone from Clarence Clemons, Rosalita became the centerpiece of Springsteen's live shows. It wasn't a radio hit, but it didn't need to be. On stage, it turned audiences into believers. It was the moment people realized Springsteen wasn't just a songwriter, he was a force of nature. Looking back, Rosalita feels like destiny. In 1973, the world didn't know it yet, but the boss had arrived. 1973 wasn't about endings, it was about expansion. Pink Floyd created an album that redefined what rock could be. Led Zeppelin and The Stones ruled stadiums. Bowie, Elton, and Queen brought theater to the masses. Aerosmith and Springsteen announced themselves as the next generation. Bob Marley introduced reggae to the world, and Black Sabbath proved heavy metal could be as ambitious as any art form. This was the year rock became bigger than music. It was spectacle, culture, revolution, and empire in sound. And 50 years later, the echoes of 1973 still rumble through every arena, every festival, every pair of headphones. Because this wasn't just another year in music history, this was the year rock conquered the world.